Namaste and welcome to Naaree Talk, the show that gives you everything you need to overcome your limitations and live your best life. Today I'm interviewing Cynthia Brian. She's a New York Times best-selling author of several books, TV radio personality, producer, a lecturer, a newspaper columnist, and an enrichment coach specializing in acting, media, writing, speaking, and life success. Cynthia is the founder and executive director of Be the Star You Are, a nonprofit empowering women, families, and youth through increased literacy, improved positive media messages, and skills for living. Since 1998, she has produced and hosted the weekly upbeat lifestyle international radio broadcast StarStyle, Be the Star You Are. Cynthia created and produced the young adult radio show Express Yourself for the Voice America Network Empowerment Channel. She writes for magazines, newspapers, and online sites. And when not inspiring others, Cynthia can be found working in her garden or playing with her barnyard of adopted animals. How lovely that is, Cynthia.
I love the animals.
Yeah, I love that. I love that description. And it's like, like I said, it's the dream life. You're living the dream.
Thank
Literally.
you. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's my
So
pleasure.
exciting to be in India again.
Yes, at least through the internet, right?
Yes, but I feel like I'm there.
Oh, lovely. So you're such an accomplished woman, and when I saw your profile on LinkedIn, I said I have to speak to this lady because she's done so much and she's accomplished so many things. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Cynthia. Tell me a little bit about your journey and where how it started and how you got to where you are.
Well, thank you for asking. I think that everything starts, of course, as you know, with a first step. But I grew up on a farm, and I am the first person in my family to ever go on to higher education.
Right.
But I was really raised by wonderful parents. We had a very big family who let us know that we could do anything that we wanted to do and be who we wanted to be as long as we were willing to work hard, to put in the energy, the effort. So I really had that foundation of believing in myself and having the confidence that every day is a new day and I can create it anew and I can become the person that I dream of being. And so that's how I've kind of carved my life. Everything that I do is really in the artistic fashion. And of course, having grown up around nature and animals, that's what grounds me. That's what has always kept me being real and authentic, and I'm so grateful for that. And that journey has led me around the world into media, into movies, into television, into radio, into speaking, into writing books. And it's something that I never really expected. When I was a little girl, I just wanted to be a world famous ball bouncer. I have no idea what a ball bouncer is, but I had a little ball and I used to like to bounce it. And I thought I could be really good at it and go around the world bouncing balls for people. So people kind of joke I'm still bouncing balls because I have a lot of balls in the air all the time. But I really do love what I do. And I think it because I really love who I am and I work really hard at keeping grounded and being real all the time and hopefully approachable and can connect with people.
Yes, I can see that. So I think that's wonderful about you. So tell me a little bit about your career. I mean, you've been an actress as well, right? So
Yes, and still like am. I've been doing that for a very long time. And again, life is so interesting because it really doesn't matter who you are or where you came from. I truly believe, and I've said this in my book, Be the Star You Are, is we're all created unique. We're all different. And this is why we're all stars in our own way. We all have that flame that's burning within us. And sometimes we just need to polish and shine it and get it out there. And from the time I was a little girl, I mean really little, like many little kids, I just loved performing. And my family was large. I have 36 first cousins. and I'm a big Italian family.
No,
And
I know how that is. I've got 25 cousins on one side, another 20 on the other side. So
oh my gosh,
huge,
you're
a
the
huge
first person that
family.
has beat me in
Oh,
numbers.
good.
But it's
It's a huge
wonderful, isn't
family.
it?
Yeah, it's
I
amazing. It's
It's
amazing.
amazing, and I feel really grateful to have grown up with a close knit family, and we spent a lot of time together because we were rural, we were out in the country. So really, we only had each other, and we had the animals, and we had the trees, So
Right.
we would entertain, and that's our entertainment is we'd put on shows. My cousins tell me that I was writing, directing, and producing from the time I was 3, but I don't think I could write when I was 3. But evidently, I used to give everybody a part, and we all used to perform. But my parents said, no, when I really expressed this love of acting, that was not what they had in mind for me. In those days, being an actor was the next best thing to prostitution.
I remember,
So
yeah.
I do you remember. So
In India
so I
too. In
decided,
India too, yeah.
yes. So I decided I would become a nun instead
Oh
because
dear.
I went to Catholic schools. So I went. I actually decided to become a nun, and then when I went to the convent in Ireland, they actually told me they thought I might be better suited for the bright lights of Hollywood. I think I might have
You're like
driven
Maria.
everybody crazy.
You're like Maria from The Sound of Music. You got
Exactly.
banished from the convent.
I would have been banished. And the wonderful thing is I am still excellent, great friends with these wonderful, wonderful women who were nuns who told me that I wouldn't make it in convent. And I just actually visited them this past year in Ireland. And so that's all
Oh
wonderful
dear.
and exciting.
Don't worry about it.
But what that tells me is that we can continue to do whatever it is that we want to do. So
Yeah.
the thing about it is here I was, I thought, okay, I can't do that. But then I went away to UCLA, and things just started happening. I worked for the airlines. I got spotted. I started working and acting, never thinking I was acting, and then one thing after another. And so I guess the moral of that story is when you're passionate about something and you become good at it, you're going to do it. And as parents, we have to encourage our children to follow their dreams and support their dreams. And when you are doing what you love, you really, it's that old cliche that you'll never work a day in your life.
Yes.
And so I have been able to parlay acting into many different things, into other realms of media. I mean, I'm still working in film and television, and I've had my own television shows. Then I started in radio, and I absolutely love radio because with radio, you never have to worry about how you look. You don't have to have makeup artists and hairstylists and dressers and all of that.
Yeah.
And so that is so fantastic. And then, of course, with technology the way it is, I mean, look at us right now. I'm sitting here in California in my library, and you're in India in your library,
Yeah.
and we can see each other.
Yeah.
That didn't happen a few years ago. So the world is just this amazing, amazing oyster. And I think it's
Yeah.
up to each of us to discover it, because once we start in something that we love, we can just keep opening the doors to other things. What I've learned over the years is to say yes to life. So when someone offers an opportunity, I say yes. And then I try to figure out, how am I going to do that? You see?
I love that.
You may not have the skills at first, but if you say yes, you'll learn the skills, right?
Those are wise words. Those are really wise words. Yes, absolutely. Because too many of us second guess ourselves, and we're always thinking that, oh, I can't do this, but we can figure it out, right? It's
You know what? We're all humans in training, and
yeah,
all of us have faults, and all of us have idiosyncrasies, but we also have innate skills and gifts. And I believe that each of us is a gift to this universe, and we were put on this earth to do something magnificent. And it doesn't matter what that is. You could be a ditch digger, a janitor, or you can be president of something. It doesn't matter. We're all important. And that's the whole idea of be the star you are. Just be who you are. Be your authentic, real self. Tap into what is real for you and don't try to pretend or be anybody else. And so when you're yourself and you're truthful and you're honest and you're walking your talk and you're living with integrity, it really is amazing how the world just opens, because people are waiting for positivity. People need encouragement. People need to be appreciated. Don't you think?
Yes, yes.
So I'm just so grateful for all the opportunities and all the people that I've met around the world, and I learn something from everyone. And that's the key to life, is if we're learning every day, then we're not going to be stale. And then we can keep changing. I mean, you know, I start in acting, and then you're writing, and then you're coaching, and it just kind of keeps going. It's all in the same realm, but you have to have passion. Life is about passion, and then from passion you can create the possibilities. But always look for the possibilities. There's no place to be feeling sorry for yourself. Just pick yourself up and go for it.
Awesome. I just love that. I just love that. I mean, it sounds like it's from a movie, but it's real life, you know.
This is real life. But, you know, I get a lot of this, I'm a gardener, and I've written garden books, and been writing garden articles for many years, because I get my inspiration in nature. When I'm outside, I feel fulfilled there's just something about nature. There's no mistakes in nature. I have a motto: failure is fertilizer. Put it on the compost pile, grow a new garden. In other words, don't worry about it. If you're not making lots of mistakes, and if you're not failing lots and lots and lots, you're not growing. You're not going to get anywhere. You show me somebody who has never failed, and I'll show you somebody who never started anything.
Yeah, never tried anything, right?
Right. So people will come into my office for a coaching session, and they'll be afraid, oh gosh, what if I make a mistake? Or what if somebody doesn't like me? Or what if, there are no what ifs. Should and could do little good. Just, again, go out there. Be willing to laugh at yourself. Don't worry if people are laughing at you or with you. Just do it. Nike had the greatest slogan, just do it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what can happen from when you are just being yourself. Again, you have to work hard, and you've got to put in the time. You really do have to be creative in a way that you show up and you care and you be responsible and be organized. And most importantly, again, I get back to that integrity of walking your talk. Own your truth. Be really, people have to be able to depend on you. That's the key.
Yes.
If they can't depend on you, then you're not going to get anywhere.
Absolutely.
So that's a very, very important part of anything. And I think it transfers over to all walks of life. It doesn't matter what it is. But if you have a dream, go for it. Just go for it. And I have a method that I've used that, to me, it works. It's like, you dream the dream, and dream big. Dream bigger than anybody could dream for you. Because if you're, that thing, I always say, if you shoot for the stars, you might hit a cloud. So shoot as big as you possibly can, because even if you come a little bit lower than that, you've gone further than what you started. So dream big, and then write down what you're dreaming. After that, you have to write the plan. In other words, how do you want to get from A to Z? You may not know how, but it probably means you're going to have to go back to school, or you might need to read books, you might need to get coaching, you might need a mentor, you may need to go to seminars, but whatever it is, you have to get the skills you need. Very important. But a key is to go into action. Without action, there's nothing. So first you have to be, then you can do. It's be and then do. And another important ingredient to me of success is having a support person, a cheerleader. It doesn't have to be a lot of people. but it has to be at least one person who is not a yes person, but is somebody who is going to let you know when you're on the right track, when you're on the wrong track, and also say, okay, so you hit a stumbling block. Okay, pick yourself up. Keep going, because we never know how close we are to the top of the mountain. You know, sometimes it seems so far, but we might be just over that little hill. So it's like Winston Churchill said, never, never, never give up. Just don't give up. Keep on going, because those failures turn into successes. Failure is just success upside down.
No, I love that. I just love that. It's a beautiful quote. So, tell me a little bit about your program, Be the Star. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Be the Star You Are
Yeah,
is
Be the
a
Star You Are.
nonprofit, a charity, and it is to empower women, families, and youth with increased literacy, positive media messages like the program you're doing right now, and tools for living. And this originated, I was doing a television show called Live Your Dreams about extraordinary, ordinary people who were doing what they love in life, not for the money, not for the glamour, but because it fed their souls. And some of the people working on it said to me, wow, we need to spread this message bigger, and the way to do it would be a nonprofit. Well, if I had known, Priya, how hard it is to run a nonprofit, we're all volunteers, there's no paid people, I wouldn't have done it. So it's a good thing I didn't have a crystal ball, and it's a good thing I wasn't psychic. But now that I'm in it, we have worked with people all over the world. We have distributed empowerment tools, which are books and tapes and puzzles and videos and things that can lift people up in times of distress. Over $2 million worth. We have worked with more than 500,000 people, and all with volunteers, mostly teenagers.
Oh, wow.
And so this gives me such great hope that I can work with young people, keeps me young, inside at least, but to help the next generations give back, because it's so important that we give to other people. The website for that is bethestaryouare.org if anybody's interested.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description of the video so they can check it out, right?
Oh, that's so nice of you.
Yeah,
but it's a wonderful organization, and again, it's all volunteer. We do a lot of disaster relief. We do book distributions. We have 2 radio shows, StarStyle, Be the Star You Are, and then the teen show, Express Yourself. And on both those shows, they're always positive, but always bringing on guests that are going to uplift and have a message of encouragement and inspiration. So motivation to be the best that you can be, to be the star you are.
Yes. And that's so important, because I think young people need that message. I mean, a lot of them are going through a really hard time because things are changing so fast, and many of them are not face an uncertain future. So I think they need to hear that message, right?
I think especially now, every generation says, oh, these, it's the best of times, it's the worst of times. But as you said, right now, young people are suffering. And the future, especially with global warming and climate change, they don't know if there is a future. Are we even going to have a world? So we really do have to give them the resources and the tools. And more importantly, we have to give youth a voice. And this is why we have the show Express Yourself. It's completely non-edited. I don't curate it. The kids talk. So it's all teenagers age 12 and then up, and they get to choose their topics. They talk what they want to talk about. So it's, where teens talk and the world listens. And then my newest book, Be the Star You Are, millennials to boomers. It's positive voices in a changing digital world. I think that kind of says it all, is that all of us have a voice that needs to be heard. So we have to communicate, collaborate. It's very critical, because that's the only way we're going to be able to innovate.
Yes, true. And
we have to all get along
and survive together. It has to be together.
That's the whole thing is that, this world is connected now. But how are we going to have peace? How are we going to open that conversation so that people of all nations and all creeds and all sexes and all beliefs, we can all get along? And the thing is we all bleed red, right? We're all humans.
Yeah.
So let's get along and let's look to a bright future together. Let's walk hand in hand. So that's what motivates me to get up in the morning. Is I really, really want to be part of that dialogue of helping the world unite into one just amazing, forceful endeavor and experience for all people.
Oh wow, you're really a wonderful bright spark, in a world that really needs it. So
that's great. Well, so are you, and that's it. We're all flames. Some of our flames are burning a little brighter, and some just again need a little bit of a flicker more. But why don't we all, ignite that spark that burns within, and then when we're positive and we look at others and we have a big smile and we're having fun and we go out on that limb and we take some risks, other people will do it too.
Yeah.
So we have to be the change that we want to see. We have to be the role models. We have to be the mentors, and it all starts with us. So the word I, me, these are important words because I have a responsibility. You have a responsibility. We all have that responsibility. And the key is we have the ability to do this. We just have to get going and do it.
I love that. You're such a motivational person. And I'm sure, the people that you speak to, the young people and all the people who come in touch with you must be so uplifted by that message, so it's wonderful.
Well, thank you. I'm uplifted by them. As I said, I really, really appreciate every person that I meet because, whether you get a positive comment or a negative comment from someone, if you can take it and learn from it and say, okay, what is triggering that? That makes me a better person. So my goal every day, I start every day with a meditation, and I've been doing this for many years. And again, being with my animals and being out in nature, I always do it outside, rain or shine, no matter the weather. It gives me that connection and the gratitude just to have another day on this beautiful earth. And then when I get to meet people, I feel like their energy, I gravitate towards it. And I hope, my goal is that I can inspire other people just to be the best people that they can be for that day. Them be the star they are. That's all what StarStyle is just be the best person that you can be kind and be true and be yourself because everybody else is taken.
Yeah. I love that. I just love that. And we so badly need to hear such messages, right? We need these kind of messages to completely, blanket all the bad news that there is in the world and, smother it. And so that we can only hear the good stuff, right?
You said something important there is that we all need to hear it. Even if you've heard it before, we need to hear it again. And we need to hear it again. And we need to hear it again. Because when you think about it, if you put people down, they're not going to want to get back up. Because or if they get back up with anger. But if you encourage people, if you lift people up, and you find the good in people, then they're going to want to strive to even be better. So let's make the best better.
Yeah.
Always strive to be the best and make it better. And that's what I do when I work with people, is no matter who you are or where you're from, is that I really want to encourage you just to go for it, because you can be and you will be whoever you put your mind to being. As long as you're always being true to who you are and you're willing to put in the work, the sacrifices, the time, and do it all with love.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Love conquers all.
Yeah. That's
And
it.
I love living, and I love people, and I just love this life. And it doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor. I grew up really poor. I didn't know I was poor because we lived on a farm and we had plenty of food, but we didn't have much else. We had one roller skate that 5 of us tried to roller skate on a dirt road, and we got a used bicycle that my dad put together. But it doesn't matter. It's like, what is wealth? Wealth is happiness.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
have happiness
I
and
think,
you have
yeah.
health, we have
I think
everything.
we define it all wrong. I mean, what you had,
Yes,
what you had was wonderful. I don't think you lacked for anything. You
we
know?
didn't.
Yeah. I don't think
No,
you lacked for
we
anything.
didn't. We didn't. I feel so blessed that I grew up the way I did, because it gave me the groundwork to understand every single level of where people come from,
Yeah.
and the trials and tribulations that we all go through. And
Right.
what I've really learned, I mean, it's never too late to have a happy childhood. So even if you grew up in a
I like
difficult
that.
childhood, put an end to that today. Get the therapy, get the help that you need
Yeah.
to understand it, to process it,
Yeah.
to go through those emotions, and then start anew. Every day is new. Every hour, every minute, every second, our cells in our body are constantly changing. So don't hold on to negativity, because the only person that gets hurt is ourselves. And this is why, like forgiveness, for example, if you can't forgive and you hold a grudge, the only person that's suffering is
You.
you, that's
Yeah.
holding that
Yeah.
grudge, because nobody else is thinking about it,
No,
right?
they aren't. They aren't.
No,
You.
no, no. So we really have to go, really live in the moment, live for the now. We had a saying when I was growing up, and it's kind of silly, but I live by it, and I'll share it. It was, you mad at me, you hate my guts, you think I'm nasty, you think I'm nuts, tough, your problem. And I like that so much, because what that says, I feel what it says is that I'm not going to let others' perceptions of who I am dampen my soul and my spirit of who I know I am.
Right.
I know I am a good, caring individual, and that's what I bring to the world. So it doesn't matter what other people say. Yes, you're going to be hurt when people say bad things, but you know what? Then stay off of social media, because that could be so negative,
Yes,
right?
there's a lot of negativity there, but you can avoid it. I've found myself now unsubscribing from all the negative stuff, and I only stay subscribed to the funny stuff and the silly stuff and things that make me laugh, and so you can curate what you're seeing, but you
I
have to
am with
be.
you. I am
Yeah.
exactly with you. I won't read negativity. I won't read the newspapers and the bad things that are happening. And I just say prayers and say, please put light around everyone and make them feel good about
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
But yes, no, you really can, you can stop that negativity.
Yeah.
And because we have a choice,
Yeah, and you can
life
choose.
is
You can
about it.
choose what to
We can
focus on.
choose.
You can
We
choose what
can
to focus
choose.
on. Yeah.
Yes. No one is forcing any of this down our throats, fortunately. And especially if we live in countries like we live in that are democratic, hopefully we can choose what it is that we see, what we read, and what we do.
Yeah.
And I just do want to say one other last thing, is how important nutrition is about the food that you put in your body too,
Yes.
getting back to wealth and health. I mean, because being healthy is so critical. And when you don't feel well, it's difficult to be kind to other people, because it makes you
Yeah.
grouchy.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
right. Mm.
drink lots of water, eat fresh vegetables, be kind to yourself,
Be
get
kind to
plenty of
yourself.
sleep.
Absolutely.
I don't you think, Priya, that so many of us, we might be out there in the world doing things with others, but we're not taking care of number
Myself.
one,
Hmm.
and that's the key. If we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of other people.
I wrote a book on that.
You did?
Yes, I did. It's called Devi to Diva.
Ah, Well, tell
Yeah.
me about that. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's an emotional self-care book for women. So like all the stuff that you're saying, it makes absolute sense to me because I've written about it and I've written about my own journey because I realized you must have heard of Louise Hay, right?
Oh,
Louise.
of course.
Yeah.
I knew her. Yeah, I
Yeah.
knew Louise Hay.
How
Yes.
wonderful. So I mean,
She was a
her book,
lovely person.
yeah, and her book changed my life. So because I was going through some stuff at that time, and I had health issues, and then when I read her book, it completely, that was one of the books that changed my life. The another one was by Richard Carlson. It was called Shortcut Through Therapy. And it was all about how happiness is a choice. And that was
Right.
the first time I heard of that. I said, "Oh, I can choose to be happy." So I don't have to be miserable, I can actually choose every moment of the day what I want to think and what I want to
Absolutely.
feel.
Happiness is an inside job.
Yeah, it is.
Happiness is absolutely, you can choose it. And Richard
Yeah,
Carlson there's so many people. I'm so glad you're talking about how books change your life, because
yeah,
I
yeah,
find that as well, is that
yeah.
those little nuggets, even when you read a book and you even get one sentence or something that hits you, like the fact that you can choose happiness,
Yeah,
that's crucial. It changed your whole
absolutely.
life, right?
It
It
does,
changed your whole
absolutely.
perspective.
I read that
Well,
book multiple
congratulations
times. Thank you.
on writing that book. And you know
Thank you.
what? We'll have to get you on our radio show.
Oh, I love that. I
Yes,
absolutely love that. Love to share the
yes.
message.
I would love to have you share the message. I'm going to
Great.
definitely do that.
Sure, I'd love that. That would be. I mean, anything to be, to have another chat with you. That would be awesome to get
Well, we'll
back
have
on
to
a.
get you with the teens too, because again,
Yeah,
that's a huge message for the kids. We've
yeah,
been doing a
yeah.
lot of shows lately about challenges that teens are experiencing, and there's very high rates of suicide and
I
depression.
know, I
They're under
know,
so much pressure
I
these
know, I
days. I
know.
mean, and just trying to even get into colleges, and there's so many things that are going on. And to
Yeah,
have a message that I can choose to be happy,
yeah.
it makes a big difference for
It's
them.
very important. Yeah,
Yes. And that's what I work with them all the time, letting them know that same thing, is that it's up to you. The life you live is up to you.
yeah,
Yes, there are circumstances that happen that are out of our control, but the things that we can control, do them as best you can, and do them with joy, and
yeah.
do them with a big smile on your face, and love in your heart, and gratitude in your soul. And then things seem to fall into place.
Yes, absolutely. Because that's your choice. I mean, ultimately, you can choose that, right?
Yes.
So you're choosing that. I love that. Okay.
You're choosing to be uplifting, and you're choosing to empower others with encouragement. So
Yeah.
if we always think about the word empowerment, and not just for ourselves but for others, then life, every single day of our life, when we step outside, we will be inspiring others. And just remember, when you walk down that street and you smile at someone, you might just be saving their life. So smile a lot. A
Yeah.
smile gives your face value.
Yeah. I love that. Okay. I'm going to stop the recording here. Thank you for listening to Naaree Talk. Visit naaree.com and download my empowering guided meditations and work from home checklist so you can get started on your journey to emotional and financial independence. That's NAAREE.com.